Okay, so continuing with step 9 asks us to create a hyperlink from the image of the envelope, which will send an email message to ges@cie.org with the subject line, book me a visit. So I'm going to click on the envelope, which ensures that it actually highlights that particular image tag in my code. So I'm going to type this hyperlink tag in. Now I need to make sure that I open my A tag before the image and I close my A tag at the end of the image. That ensures that the image itself becomes the hyperlink. So before the image here, in between the cell, wall and the image, I'm going to open my A tag. Okay, so A tag is the hyperlink tag and it's going to be an AHREF, meaning hyperlink reference equals. Okay, speech marks, mail to, and a colon. And then we just need to type in the email address that it's going to. So in this case, it's going to GES at the at symbol at cie.org.uk. So AHREF equals mail to colon GES at cie.org.uk. And then I'm also going to add an instruction in there, and I can put it inside the same speech marks, or I can open a second set of speech marks. Subject equals, okay, and in this case the subject is going to be book me a visit. Exclamation mark at the end. So again, that can go in its own set of speech marks like so, or I can put it inside the other speech marks. That is completely up to you. So currently I have this tag here, AHREF equals mail to GES at cie.org.uk, subject equals book me a visit. Now notice I haven't yet closed this particular open tag, so I need to make sure I don't forget my chevron at the end there to close that tag. Oh, back. There we go. So there's the close chevron. Now you notice as soon as I close the chevron, it gives me the close A tag, but the close A tag is in the wrong place. I want the close A tag to go after the image. So here's the image, and my close A tag is going to go at the end here, at the end of the close image chevron, and before the end of the cell wall itself. Highlight that again. You'll notice I have AH reference equals mail to, and then the email address. Subject equals book me a visit. Close chevron. Then I have my image tag, and that hasn't changed at all. That's exactly as it was before. Okay. At the end of the close of the image tag, I have my close A tag, and that will hyperlink this image here to open a email address. Okay. Moving on from step 9, it now asks me to attach the style sheet m17ss.css to this web page and save the page. So if I'm going to attach a style sheet, I want to go across to CSS Designer in my right-hand corner over here, and I want to add a source, and I'm going to attach an existing CSS file. Browse for it. It should be saved in the same file as everything else. And there is the M17SS file. This little one with the cog in the icon is my CSS file, and I'm just going to press OK. Link is fine. Don't change anything here. Press OK, and this is now my CSS file. And you can see that some of my features have automatically changed. The colour of the heading 1 text is now a brown colour, and that will have been found as part of the rules of the CSS page. Same for the colour of the heading 2 and the heading 3 tags as well. So this takes me to now the editing of my CSS. So moving on from step 10, it asks me to save the web page, Control and S, and my web page is saved. It then instructs me that the style sheet has been created but needs to be improved using some more efficient syntax. Make sure that your style sheet contains no HTML. So we're going to open and examine the style sheet. All right, so this here is the style sheet. If I want to see the code for it, I can go to my files and I can double click to open the code of my style sheet. There's the style sheet. So I can see the heading 1 instruction, the heading 2 instruction, the heading 3 instruction, and the body. Okay, so from there, we are going to add the following instructions to our style sheet. Heading 1, 2, and 3 should have a font family as well. So what I can do inside my CSS designer over here, ensure that I'm working on the m17.css, is I can add a new selector, or I can edit one of the selectors that is already there. So the first one I'm going to edit is the H1 selector. And for the H1 selector, I'm going to add a new font family. Okay, so in the font family, I can see all of the defaults, and I can go to manage the font families. And I'm going to build a custom font stack. And of the custom font stack, I'm first of all going to see if I can find Corsiva Hebrew as my first font. So what I'm looking for is COR. Now, if it's not automatically available, if you can't find it, you can try typing in down at the bottom here. Okay. And if you can't find the Corsiva Hebrew, it says, if this is not available, then try Kandara. So we try Kandara. Kandara is available. So there's Kandara, and we bring it across to our chosen fonts. And then it says if neither of those fonts is available, then the browser's default sans serif font should be used. So for now, let's leave it as Kandara and press done. And now we can set our font family to Kandara, okay, which appears in my instruction here. And after the semicolon, I can also add sans serif. And what that will do is it will, if that font is not available, it will use the browser's default sans serif font. Now that font should be applied to H1 and H2 and H3. So I can change all of those in the designer over here, or I can simply copy that line of text there and apply it inside these curly brackets. You see, that's the bracket that denotes that all of these instructions belong to H2. So I want to make sure it goes inside there. Okay, let's make sure that we tap it forward a bit. There we go. So we have font family Kandara. And again, for heading 3 here, the same font family Kandara. You can type directly into the tags as well. So if I hadn't copy and pasted, I could put my cursor underneath and I can simply type font hyphen family. That will give me exactly the same rights to give my instructions. As such. Okay, so with those tags added, the next thing I want to do is to set the file m17bg1 as the background image. So that's going to be in the body tag. So I'm going to go back over here to my CSS designer, ensure that I'm working on the m17 CSS, scroll through to the body tag, and the body tag here, I'm going to change the background of the body tag to have a background image. Okay, so I'm going to go and find the file for my background image, and the file for my background image is going to be m17bg1. So let's find m17bg1. And this will automatically tile and repeat. So if it doesn't fit the whole size of the page, it will automatically repeat over and over again. Okay, that's fine. So now we have our m17 background image and an attached. Also asks us to add our name, centre number and candidate number as a comment at the bottom of the style sheet. So that just means that it has to go outside of these curly brackets in order to be a comment. Okay, now that will enable that comment to appear when it is printed. It asks me to save the style sheet in the N17 folder and take a screenshot of the content of the style sheet to place in evidence. So I'm simply going to Control and S to save my instructions. And now when I jump back to my page, I can see that the font style has changed my heading 1 font style here. So that has updated based upon what I've just added into my CSS file. So I'll be carrying on with instruction 12 in the next video.